Good morning to one and all. Let's bow our heads. Father, Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you for sparing our lives, for allowing us to see today, oh God. Lord, we thank you for Journey of Mercies. We thank you for everyone that's gathered here today. And we thank you for this moment where we are here to celebrate those who have participated in the essay and poetry competition. I thank you, Lord, dear God, for those who have participated because they have taken up the challenge in displaying their literary skills. I pray, Father, Lord, that they will be encouraged by parents and teachers and also by their peers to do a great work and continue to do it even more excellent work. I pray that they would continue to use their skills, Lord, dear God, even in the building up of your kingdom, and that they would not be afraid to step forward. They will not be afraid to make that big leap, dear God, to go from strength to strength, dear God. And that, their self-esteem, dear God, would increase, dear God, and they'll be boosted. I thank you, dear God, for all of us who are here. I pray that we would conduct ourselves orderly, even though we celebrate each other, and that there will be no envy, dear God. This I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Constable Griffith. Kindly sit, please. Let me say good morning again. Can I hear the students? Good morning. Good morning. So now I know you're here because I can see you and I can also hear you. The book of Psalms tells us that children are God's gift. And I'm so glad to see so many of God's gifts here this morning. I am Stephen Ross, Police Constable and Community Officer, and also your Master of Ceremonies for this morning's presentation of the literary competition hosted by the police committee officers at District A and generously sponsored by our sponsor, BGI, for 2024, entitled See Something, Use Your Voice, See Something, Say Something. It would have given me great pride and joy to welcome you here today, but that task falls to someone else. Last year, I described him as the engine of this competition. This year, the expansion of the competition has meant that that engine has gone into overdrive. He who comes to welcome you is the embodiment of what a community police officer ought to be. He is indeed himself Mr. Community Officer. I bring and I want you to welcome a man whose commitment is unquestionable and whose record is unblemished, Sergeant Christopher Griffith.
Good morning to one and all. I just had to look at myself just now to see if Constable Ross was saying the same thing about me. But thank you, Constable Ross. Madam Justice Barbara Allen, Senior Superintendent Brooms, principals, teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, and again, good morning to our sponsors, Cargo BGI. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our second edition awards ceremony entitled Use Your Voice. If you see something, say something. Literacy Competition 2024. The community police officers, in partnership with Cargo BGI and the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, are proud to host this literacy competition among the primary schools and secondary schools, both public and private, in the Bridgetown division. We have 23 public schools, 18 private schools, and 8 secondary schools within the Bridgetown division. And I will name the primary schools. We have Hinesbury, Grisette, St. Giles, St. Matthews, Belmont, Grantley Prescott, Charles F. Broome, Lawrence Tigay, Wilkie Cumberbatch, Eden Lodge, George Lamming, St. Mary's, Luther Thorne, Westbury, Wesley Hall, St. Paul's, St. Stephen's, St. Ambrose, Arthur Smith, St. Lawrence, Eagle Hall, Deacons, and Bear Primary schools. We have the private schools, which are Alphala, Happyville, Eagle Hall, Academy, Hilltop, People's Cathedral, the Seventh Day, St. Cyprian, St. Winifred, Rock Christian, Trinity, Warrens, LITE, and Windsor Heights. And we have 8 secondary schools, which are St. Michael's, Springer, Combermere, Parkinson, the Ellerslie, St. Leonard's, Graydon City, Seventh-day Adventist, respectively. Now, correspondence was sent to these schools relative to this competition via email from the Ministry of Education. And plus, they were all received a letter and a visit by my team and myself. 8 primary schools, 2 private schools, and 2 secondary schools responded and accepted our invitation. The project, Saving Our Community Children, was started in 2017 with the aim and objective of impacting young people's life and giving them opportunities to showcase their abilities. It is geared to helping children reach their capacity through sports, opportunity, culture, and care. And that's what the acronym SOCC spells out. The literacy component has created opportunity for young bright minds to express their skills through writing. It also creates an opportunity for children to spend quality time with their parents, which is lacking in some cases. And we can see that there was teacher involvement with the students with this project, as every entry had to be edited by the teacher before submission. The Barbados Police Service, in partnership with Cargo BGI and the Ministry of Education, cares about our youth. That's why we are putting so much emphasis in the school and continuing with this literacy competition. I have read every poem and essay, and I've seen the creativity and expressive writing. Maybe one day out of this competition, we will see a writer or a poet. Our country is blessed with some talented young people And if they are not harnessed properly, they will be lost. I have seen the interest that our teachers and parents shown in helping and assisting the students with their final outcome. So I want to applaud all teachers and all parents who are here. Let's give them a round of applause. Our teachers and parents must be, and when I say must be, applauded and thanked for the effort and care that I saw in these entries. The theme for the literacy competition is, as I mentioned, use your voice. If you see something, say something. This topic originated with Mr. Francis Thompson, the deputy principal of Erdison. And he was so much instrumental in last year's topic, clean your house. So this year he had the task of the theme for this year, which is fitting for what is happening in our schools and in the general public, where persons are afraid to speak out against the wrongs of society. And I made a check in the Bible as it relates to this theme. And I read in Acts 18:9, the Lord said to Paul in a night vision, "Don't be afraid, but keep on speaking, and don't be silent." And I also went to Matthew 10:26-28. And it says, "What I say to you in darkness of today's word, speak up about it in the light of my mercy. What the Holy Spirit quiet voice tells you to say, proclaim it from the housetop where every passerby can see you." And I like this part. "And do not be afraid of those who might attack you." In other words, use your voice. If you see something, say something, and don't be afraid of what people say. So thank you, Mr. Thompson. And always remember that the hand of God is upon you and your family as you impact the lives and careers of our children. We have one more year in sponsorship with Mr. Sean Morris at Cargo BGI, and I will be looking forward to you for a team for 2025 as we plan to hold this competition island-wide. So we want to reach all the schools, hopefully, by this year and next year, that we can have this competition island-wide. So this morning, again, I want to welcome you to our award ceremony. Our children who wrote on this topic were very instrumental, creative, and we urge you to continue to support them and love them in their endeavor, whether it's in sports, school, or extra activity. Our children are our future, and we need to care for them. Let us continue to love them, motivate them in a positive way, and be good role models for them. So again, this morning, we welcome you, and please do enjoy our award ceremony. Thank you.
I thank Sergeant Griffith on your behalf for his warm words of welcome. Let me, as Master of Ceremonies, formally acknowledge the presence of Madam Justice. Nice to have you, ma'am. Divisional Commander of the Bridgetown Division, Mr. Adrian Broom. Last year's guest speaker, whose words still echo in my ears, as well as others, Mr. Francis Thompson. Our generous sponsors, yet again, from BGI Cargo, you shop, we ship. That's their motto. We are pleased to have you, Mr. Sean Morris, and of course, Mr. David Hodgington. Now, if Sergeant Griffith is the engine to this competition, then someone must be the wheels, because everyone knows a car needs wheels to go. And we've had continued support from our division commander, Mr. Broom, over the past 2 years. He continues to support us, and his presence here again indicates his commitment to you, the young people of Barbados. And we're going to invite him to give us brief remarks. He is the Division Commander of the Bridgetown Division, Senior Superintendent of Police, Mr. Adrian Brooms.
Good morning, Madam Justice Barbara Cook-Allen, Mr. Francis Thompson, Deputy Principal, our sponsors, Sean Morris and Dwayne from our cargo BGI. I want to also acknowledge our representative from the Ministry of Education and as well Assistant Superintendent Joel Williams. He has responsibility for the District A catchment. I also want to acknowledge the presence of our principals and teachers, those who work in the vineyard with these young ones, and ready to say a warm welcome to all the lovely flowers, I call you flowers, representing the schools in the District A, the St. Michael area. And so I want to say good morning to you. Good morning. My remarks will be brief. I just want to say that when I hear the theme, and I always reflect on these interesting themes that Mr. Thompson come up with. Use your voice. That's the first part of it. And you know, me for one, I love to hear children's voices. The laughter, the questions, why? And really, I do not subscribe to the notion that children should be seen and not heard. I believe that you should use your voice, express yourselves. And you can express yourselves verbally, respectfully, verbally, but you've done it, in this instance, by your literary work. So I applaud you. But the second part of that catchphrase is, if you see something, say something. And I want to liken it in terms of a message. I may have so much within me that I want to express, but if I don't verbalize it, write it, or say something, it will stay there. And my dreams are just merely dreams. The saying, the expression, is putting those dreams, speaking it into the future, and making it happen. So if you see something, say something. Another edge of this message is, and there's a famous quote that says that bad things happen, and they're allowed to happen when good people say or do nothing. And so I'm told that I had a sneak peek really from Sergeant Griffith, and he tells me that the poems and the work, they were par excellence. It means that you, little ones, flowers, that you are committed to the idea that if you see wrong, speak out against it. If you see injustice, say something. If you see persons being unfair, say something, do something. And that's the only way in which our community can help each other. And so, since you wrote from your heart, I expect then to see you live this out. And so once again, like I said, it will be very short. I want to applaud you. I want to applaud you first, the little flowers, for taking up the mantle and say, I will do this. I want to also applaud the parents who walk hand in hand with their children to make it a combined effort. Your efforts will not go in vain. But I also do want to applaud the principals and the teachers who in many ways, although they have not borne them for that length of time, consider them as their babies, I know. So, I'm going to end again saying thank you, but I'm going to end to ask you just to applaud all of those persons who made this possible. You, the students, your parents, and the principals are giving yourself a round of applause. And so I will not stand between you and the award ceremony, because I know everybody likes to have their award ceremonies. But I want to tell you that this is just the first step. And even if at this time that you are a bit nervous, remember that you can set your sights to being such a good playwright, to bring people from seeing your world by writing it out and describing it in such a way that they understand what you feel, how you feel, and get your message across. So remember, if you use your voice, shout it out, and if you see something, say something. Thank you.
Thank you, Senior Superintendent Broom. We acknowledge the arrival and presence of Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Sylvester Louis, who has taken up the mandate of the community policing in recent times. Nice to have you, sir. Guests, teachers, parents, I know that we're all affected by the cost of living. This competition continues to be blessed for the second year by the generosity of Cargo BGI. They're situated, by the way, in Hackett Hall, near a popular radio station. Under the motto, as I said before, you shop, we ship. Managing Director, Mr. Sean Morris, and his team continue to come to the table in a big way. Sir, we are eternally grateful. Mr. Morris is accompanied today by his General Manager, Mr. David Codrington. And I invite Mr. Codrington to give some brief remarks. Mr. Codrington, sir, General Manager of Cargo BGI.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I too going to be brief because everybody wants to get the prizes and all that stuff. But we at Cargo BGI are extremely happy to be supportive of this project, especially because it involves the little ones. The little ones are really close to our heart, very, very close to our heart. So to sponsor children was easy to do. However, I have to say again, we have to thank Sergeant Griffith and his team, because they approached us and they came to us with this project, and it was, we couldn't say no. We just couldn't say no. And let us give them again a round of applause. Cargo BGI, what do we do? We're a shipping company, and we primarily focus on internet shopping. That's basically what we do. So if you need something, okay, let me start this way. We all watch TV, we see these little adverts, and we want to get stuff from overseas. We wonder, how do we get this here? Cargo BGI is there for you. So that's what we do. We get it to your door. But we could not do what we do without the support of our customers, and those customers we call our family. So we don't see customers as customers, we actually see them as family members. So without them, we couldn't be here. So we also have to say thank you, even though they're not here, thank you to the family members that we have. Because as I said before, without them, we would not be here. We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. I was fortunate to be able to listen to one of the poems. And my first thought was, how old is this person? Could not believe the age, could not believe. I certainly got to write the stuff that you guys writing at that age. So we at Cargo BGI, we are just impressed. And for us, every single person that wrote something is a winner. All right? It is not just 1, 2, and that is just, for you guys to decide, the teachers or the markers decide who come in first, second, and third. But for us, every single person that wrote it, that thought about writing it, that actually did it, they're winners in our book. For the students, and I just want to say this. I think you guys need to give yourself a round of applause, because you really took it over the water this year. You did better than last year by far. So just enjoy. Anybody did 11 plus yesterday? Everybody did well? I'm sure that you did well. I'm sure that you did well. Once again, I just want to say thank you. And continue to strive in what you like to do. If writing poems is your thing, continue. If you like writing essays, continue. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't get it done. Because you've shown us that you definitely can get it done. Thank you.
Manager at Chicago BGI, Mr. Carterton, thank you so much for your remarks. Our featured speaker for this award presentation is a judge of the High Court. She received her legal academic training at the KV campus, the University of West Indies, where she obtained a Bachelor of Laws degree with honors. We can still aim for high, okay? She then went on to receive her legal education certificate from the Hugh Redding Law School in Trinidad and Tobago. She's also the holder of a Master of Laws degree from the University College of London, where she has been trained in the law of children and is a proud graduate of the Caribbean Leadership Program. Madam Justice began her career in private practice, but later joined the Solicitor General's office, rising to the position of Senior Crown Counsel. She is probably best known for her contribution to the juvenile liaison scheme, for the juvenile scheme in Barbados as magistrate for the juvenile court. For over 2 decades, she has been a member of the Kiwanis Club of Barbados Central, where she has been very much involved in the improvement of the nation's children. She is a distinguished past president of the Kiwanis Club Barbados Central, and indeed has been designated the title honorary member. Her brainchild project in the Winner's Circle seeks to prepare our 11 plus children for their transition to secondary school. To date, some 15,000 children have benefited so far. In April of 2012, during her tenure as magistrate at the Whole Town Court, she hosted a project called Law in Action, allowing some 700 of our children to see firsthand the workings of our legal system and the consequences of bad choices. In 2017, she became a founding member of the Family Service Intervention Organization, which provides training for persons working with children to detect early signs of child abuse. On her appointment as High Court judge, after taking her oath of office, and allow me to quote you, Madam Justice, this, referring to her appointment as judge, is a childhood dream, along with the support of my parents and the reading of bios of British judges, helped to spur me in the pursuit of my dream. Madam Justice, I hope that your bio inspires these young minds to pursue their dreams. By the way, she did this all while being a mother and a wife. A distinguished legal career and a matched commitment to improving the lives of our nation's children, I present our featured speaker for the Community Officers BGI Cargo BGI Competition for 2024, Madam Justice Barbara Cook-Aline.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. I feel quite welcome. I want to be a bit more welcome than that. Another round of applause, please, for yourself. And now one for me. Thank you. Senior Superintendent Broom, good morning to you, sir. This is Superintendent Williams, my good friend, Ms. Gloria Haynes from the Ministry of Education, my new friend, Mr. Francis Thompson, Deputy Principal of Ursuline Training College, Mr. Codrington, and Mr. Morris from BGI. Fellow principals, teachers, students,
senior officers, gazette officers, and my good friend who sneaked in on me, Assistant Commissioner Mr. Louis. Good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure to partake this morning in this project. I want to commend the Commissioner of Police and the Barbados Police Service for designing this program. It is very timely for Barbados as we go through a time when we're concerned about our crime increase in Barbados. We lived in a Barbados years ago that was one of a community, a village community. But with development came heights and terraces, not knowing who your neighbors are, just their car numbers, not even their names, and we became isolated into our own worlds. Unfortunately, that changed everything we had about our village and taking care of each other, being your brother's keeper. It's important that we recognize that we have to take care of each other. We can't do it alone or by ourselves, and we need persons to actually have that voice to say when something is wrong. I've had the privilege of working with several young people over my lifetime, and I think back of my time when we were telltales, not just as toddlers, but as teenagers. I had a friend who had asthma and started smoking as a teenager, and I was really concerned about that, how it could affect his health. And I told him to tell his mother about it, and he stopped smoking. So it had an effect, that voice had an effect, and I was really glad about that one. Sometimes you want to fit in, and you make choices that aren't good ones. And that can really change your life, because when you make a choice, it has consequences. It could be good, or it could be negative. I know the detail about snitching. I'm not going to say it here to give it any value, but I'm really aware of that. But reporting and snitching are two different things, concepts altogether. And I'm really glad at the team that was chosen this year. Now, God made us with a conscience that directs and guides us what to do. It's within us to know what is right and wrong. So we know from early what is right and wrong, what to do, what to say, how to behave. You need to hold on to that throughout all of your life. It never leaves you, and it develops as you grow spiritually into the Holy Spirit, giving you what Brandy will call a conviction, convicted by the Holy Spirit, and guides you into what is right or wrong. You need to hold on to those things when you have to make a decision. Yes, you want to fit in, but is it worth fitting in that way? Every day you're alive, you have a choice. Who your friends are, what you have for breakfast, how long you're going to stay by your friend, with your parents' consent. And some of it is automatic choices that we just do repetitive actions. When you choose a friend, that person reflects on you. I'm going to share this with you. You don't get to choose your family. They don't reflect on you. They were given to you by God. Whatever they do is their business and not yours. When you choose a friend, it reflects on what you do and who you've chosen, who you associate with. As they say, birds of a feather flock together. So never feel shame of your family, because we didn't choose them. God gave them to us, and they're all different types in your family. But your friend reflects on you. So make good choices when you come decide who you want to be a friend. Your poems resonated with me. I had a chance to read some of them. They're really reflective and revealed your emotions on this topic. I want to compliment each and every one of you who actually took part in this project, and your teachers as well who encouraged you along the way, because they're really some amazing poems that you have written. So you're talking about crime. So what is a crime? A crime is an act that's forbidden by the law, which will be punished by the court. For example, theft, rape, use of illegal drugs. So why should you report a crime? If you see a crime being committed and you don't report it, you may feel guilty because you have a conscience. And if a person is hurt in that act of the crime, you will feel it for a long time throughout your life. So we do have a conscience to prick us, and that's really guide us in saying, let me report this crime to someone. When you don't report that crime, you empower the criminal to believe that no one will report him. He can do more of that stuff quite easily and get away. So we embolden them by being silent. Our silence propels them and boosts them up to continue along that path of crime. If you stand up and say something to someone, it will make a difference. It will make a great difference. That person will think twice. Be brought before the court, go through the system as it should be done fairly, and if they're found guilty, feel the consequences of their actions. As well, your evidence helps protect other persons as well. You have to realize that there's a victim in every crime. And if you speak up, you're saving a victim, and other victims that potentially be at harm. When I did history at school, we did Caribbean history. One of the first to do it. I was really excited about that. And of course, we still had the European history in the background there coming forward. And that was interesting as well. Did a project on World War II. And that project stayed with me throughout. Hitler from Germany decided he wanted to just command the whole world, conquer everywhere. And no one said anything. He went to Poland first, and no one said anything. And he kept going till he got to the doorstep of France. And they realized now, oh, there he's coming for all of us, and they said something. Same way, if you see something, say something. The impact can grow immensely and affect others and not just yourself. So that's always stayed with me, that World War, how it started, and the world stood still and said nothing till they came together as one. And we were there as well, fighting along with them. What do you think will happen if persons stop assisting the police in finding a criminal? Our crime rate would increase, we're towards destination, could affect our parents, our families' jobs and tourism, our monies would not be flowing as it should, unemployment would increase. So you have to say something. It affects the growth of our economy and also listing in respect of tourist destinations. When you see a crime committed, here's some things you should do. First of all, make sure you're not in harm's way. Make your safety the priority. Move to an area that is safe. If it's happening at your house, hide somewhere which is safe, that they can't find you. You should also take a mental note of everything that you see, what the person is wearing, what they look like, their height, their shape, their tone of voice, what they're wearing, their tattoos, if anything, a distinguished mark that they have. And when you can, make a note what is fresh in your memory to remember exactly what was said and what took place. And this should be fresh in your mind when you're doing it. I'm going to tell you an interesting one as well. Take note of their smell. That sounds strange, right? But some persons have very strong odors. There was a case years ago of this lady being assaulted. They didn't know who the perpetrator was. Went into a mini mart shopping, and she smelled that scent. And she followed him into the bus, saw where he got off, and called the police. And based on that scent alone, she was able to get him before the court. So simple things like that you have to remember and take note of. When you see a crime committed, I know you might want to be the hero, but I don't think you're big enough to take on every crime. The person will be bigger than you sometimes, so just watch and take note, shout for help, but try not to get yourself into harm's way. You can always call 211. You all have the pleasure of having hotlines that nobody knows who's on the other end calling to make that report. Our basis of our law, the concept is that accused must know who the accuser is, but we have now the opportunity to make an anonymous call, have the police act upon it, and gather their evidence, and you're privileged to have that situation. In my day, I wouldn't have that. I have to call the 4-3 whatever number and talk to whoever, or go to a payphone and call so they can't trace me back. But you don't have to worry about that. A hotline that is making sure not centering on who you are, but information that you are given. Having a voice is something that is important. It says a lot about who you are and your strength of character. You to be assertive and to be confident. Now, God gave us not a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. So you need to be fearless. Your talent in your writing is expressive. Use that talent. It's important to be a good citizen. Continue to write. I believe among you are some Nobel laureates, and I'm looking forward to seeing you standing internationally representing Barbados because of your writings. And I've seen it in your writings. Don't stop. Whatever anybody says about your writing, it is fantastic. Believe in you. Parents, encourage them, how great they are. You are their first fans when they're born. You're to be their last fans as well when they leave your home. Continue to be their fans. They have your physical support and voice as well for them, saying that all is well and that they have done well. Everyone has talents. You don't always discover it early in your life, but guess what? You've discovered one of yours, creative writing. And I applaud you on having that talent discovered so early. We know of the parable in the Bible with the talents, where the master gave each person a talent, 1, 5, 1, 2, and 1, 1. One with the 5, he worked on his and increased and invested. wanted 2 as well, double his. And the one just said, big deal, I ain't doing nothing with this. And he didn't increase that talent, and it was taken from him. So I think behind that story is saying, God is saying to us, you got a talent, use it or you lose it. So find your talent, and you found one now, so make sure you use it wisely. You have power within yourself to influence the world. We live in a world of technology. You have power to influence your friends with your words and your family. And I think you're forced in the age that you're living in. So keep writing. Use your pen as your tool to change. Use your pen to make a mark and a difference and influence the world. The world is now smaller because of social media. And each and every one of you today have shown that you have a talent. And you will be great about that. So keep working at it. I commend you, and I'm looking forward to this project continuing indefinitely. It's really a good project, especially with literacy, pushing that as well. So I hope it does continue. Thank you for having me here this morning, and I want to congratulate you. I want a big scream to say how great you are. A big scream for me to say how great you are. At 3. 1, 2, 3! Really? Even I can scream better than that. 1, 2, 3! Woo! All right. That's how great you are. Thank you.
Thank you as well, Madam Justice. Words of wisdom. We are each brothers and each sisters keeper. That's why we live in communities. We don't live out by ourselves. So we can have an eye out for each other. Maybe next year when Madam returns, there's a vacancy in the justice system, and she may very well be occupying that post. We wish you well, ma'am. We wish you well. We are the fun part of the morning's presentation, where awards are given out to the persons who took the time and the effort to make that essay and that poem come alive. I too am waiting to see a laureate from Barbados. We have 2 in St. Lucia, we have 0 in Barbados. The time must be now for us to have a laureate from this island. Remember, it's the Writers Guild that shuts down Hollywood, not the actors. The Writers Guild. So we must not let that fact escape us. So now that we are about to hand out the awards to our lucky children, let me tell you a bit about the background. There were two separate, actually, competitions. The essay was separate and distinct. The essay was separate and distinct. Students were only allowed to enter 1 category with 1 entrance, to be fair to all of them. The grading of these papers were done by a group from within the Ministry of Education, Technology and Education, and their decision is and was final. By the way, I should tell you that none of the entrants had any markings that would indicate the student's name or school. I think that's important for transparency, that you know that what was corrected with some amount of anonymity. No, fun time. Everybody agrees? We're going to invite, we have with us, I didn't acknowledge her early on, but Inspector Sandra Roach is with us. And I know that she last year assisted us in a big way, and she will do the same this year as well. And we're going to call on her at this point to assist us in giving out some of the certificates of participation, along with Station Sergeant Lynch, who I saw earlier, who at one point had command of the District 8 Police Station. He's now taking another command, but I'm sure that he will assist us if I can find him in the crowd easier. So, Inspector Roach, Sandra Roach, Station Sergeant Rondell Lynch, and Belmont School. We'll start with the Belmont School, please. The entire group can come down and stand to your right, so we have a free flow of children collecting their certificates. I'm going to dip myself now because some of these names are not Mary and John, or Peter or Paul. So can you bear with me? The first name I see is Hypatia. Thank you so much, my dear. German Kathleen from the Belmont School. First to receive her certificate of participation. Come, my dear. Next is, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Kathleen. Next is Sarah Haynes. Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Denisha Banfield. Deshaun Hines. Alicia Jack. Terija Bell. And when you come, you will help me in that pronunciation. Nataria Bell. And I'm not going to start this one, neither first Christian name or surname. Jelani. Come, please. And you're going to tell me how to pronounce it. Right. Get an exercise in pronunciation. Bisset Jelan from the Belmont Primary School. Amor DeSoya Chase. Onisha Edwards. Get one right. Ladies and gentlemen, Belmont Primary School. Do we have a representative from Charles F. Room? Yes, please. So we're going to call on Miss Rosalind Murray. Yes, please. Robin. The Eagle Hall Academy School. Do we have representatives? Eagle Hall Academy? You will realize that the competition involved not only public, primary, and secondary schools, but also the private schools as well within the Bridgetown division. From the Eden Lodge Primary School, Bloom Haynes. Leanne Roach. And Tamilia Roach, Ford Roach. Tamilia Ford Roach. Sorry? Ford Stewart. Thank you so much. From the Wilkie Combat School. Chasan. When you come, you'll tell me how to pronounce your Christian name. Lily Devana Chasan. Turn around. Yes. Ria Gooding. Candace Hines. I am corrected. Cadence Hines. Mr. Talk, Mr. Marnie Talk. At this point, we thank Senior Sergeant Lynch for his assistance, former commander and manager of the District 8 Police Station. The person who has taken over that role is now Sergeant Sergeant Rock, and he's here with us as well.
Yes.
All right. We're going to ask him to assist us now in handing out the remainder of the certificates. Oh, I now see it. From George Lammett School, Ms. Fatima Pandor. From the Hinesbury School, Hinesbury? No one here from Hinesbury? From the St. Gabriel School, Shylon Brewster. Olivia Lambert. Saraya Seal. Mr. Muzz Walker. Take on his behalf. Thank you. Newfoundland, please. Tiara Lucas. Derry Leacock. More lessons is Dare. Spelled D-A-I-R-E. Jordan Hunt. Yes. Yes, you're free to support your charges and students as much as you want to. Jaden Cox. St. Matthew's School. Thank you. Raquel Dottin. I'm told Tiesha. You can. Miguel Clark. Christopher Birch. There's a member of the judiciary with that name. Maybe he will do the same. Warren School? Yes, I see you. We appreciate as well that Warren is a private primary school and that the competition covered both public and private. Last year, when we were now starting and creeping, we just did the public schools. Keandra Springer. No, parents and relations, don't let the others outdo you. You see how they were cheering just now. We got two competitions going on. Next person is Zara Rollins. You're all losing already here. She's not here. Someone come on her behalf. Arian Noville. Akira Lewis. Again, Akiri. I'm sure this thing, this is Jasmine. There's no denying it. The other one for her? Yes. Jasmine Gamble. I'm not going to venture an attempt at this one. Gamble, come please. The next Gamble. And you're going to tell me your Christian name. I'm told it's Tia Gamble, Miss Tia Gamble. Area Dean. Aria Dean. I understand she's 10 years old, so don't be taken by her size. Mother Justice is not that tall either, if I may say so. Oranges. Mr. Calendar? He knows they're not calling that Christian name. We're going to let him tell me. Tell me your Christian name. Tell me your Christian name. Leah Calendar. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You may return to your seats. We move on now to secondary schools. From Harrison College, Atiba Seeley Thompson. No, as we say in court, no answer or appearance. At this time. Anyone from the Springer Memorial School? I don't see uniform. Okay. So that concludes the awards of certificates of participation. So we take our attention now to the winners. Everyone loves a winner. Everyone wants to be a winner. We can win in different ways. Huh? Because improvement in any form is winning. Once you have shown some improvement, you have won. So we start with the third places. In the essay category, again from a school in St. Michael, Big Hank. From the Eden Lord School, in third place, in the essay competition, is Bloom Haynes. Again, third place, essay competition. Essay. From the Eden Lodge Primary School is Miss Bloom Haynes, an unusual name, one that I can pronounce easily. Parent Danielle Payne. Parent is here as well. Danielle? Miss Payne? In second place, another school from St. Michael. From the St. Matthew's Primary School, we're going to invite the Assistant Commissioner, Mr. Sylvester Louis, who has recently taken up the mandate of community policing in this ambit, to assist us in giving out the award. He is from St. Matthew's Primary School, and he goes by a very popular name in Barbados, Mr. Christopher Birch. Catherine Corbin Birch. A happy parent. I has her phone making sure that she puts this moment for posterity. Yes. And now to give out the first place, we're going to call on our sponsors, who I told you have been generous beyond call, to give out the prize for the first place winner. I think they're spinning a coin to see who's going to open the batting. Out comes Mr. David Cortington of Cargo BGI U Shop Restrict, located in Hackett Hall, near that popular radio station. Nice to have you again, Mr. Cortington. Again from St. Michael's School. I keep giving you hints all the time. From the Lutherthorne School, Derry Leacock. We're going to ask him to read his to read his entrance, his contribution.
What is a talker's favorite organ? The answer is their mouth, because it helps them to speak. I'm not a talker, but as a leader, I must use my voice to maintain peace and order, just like the police maintenance peace and order in my country. My time at school gives me opportunities to use my voice. As a school prefect, if I saw a child dashing up the sidewalk and across the road, I would tell them, next time, walk slowly and look left and right before crossing the road. In the class, there are rules that every student must obey. For example, our teacher often tells everyone to sit and read quietly at their desks. If one student is not following the rule, I would look over and say, stop being disobedient. Get a book out and read quietly. At lunchtime, everyone is lined up for lunch, and sometimes someone skips the queue. I would tell them, no, get to the back of the line. If I see a girl eating on the pasture, I will let her know it is against the school rules. If I see a tall boy teasing a smaller boy, I will tell the bigger student to stop teasing him. In conclusion, it's always important to use your voice. This can be done by speaking up when others are doing wrong. I promise to use my voice when I see something that isn't right and help my school to be the best it can.
Thank you so much. There's more to be had besides a trophy. There are some laptops and tablets. So the best has come at the end. Mr. Carterton, sir. He is now the recipient not just of a trophy, but he has in his possession a laptop, of course, with the kind compliments of Cargo BGI. We're going to ask Ms. Bloom-Haynes and Christopher Birch to return as well, quickly. Second place, Mr. Birch, Mr. Christopher Birch. Now receiving not just his trophy, but also his tablet. Again, with the kind compliments of Cargo BGI. And Ms. Bloom-Haynes, a name that I just seem to like. Third place winner. More pictures, more smiles. She's now going to receive her tablet. Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Thank you, Ms. Haynes. We now move on to the primary school's poetry competition. And we thank Mr. Corsiton at this point from Cargo BGI, and we invite Assistant Superintendent Mr. Williams, who I know did not anticipate that he'll be assisting us, but yes, sir, you are assisting us today. From the St. Gabriel's Primary School, third place, Primary School Poetry Competition, Sierra Seal. She's now the proud owner of a trophy and a tablet. Again, with the kind compliments of Cargo BGI. You shop, we ship. Again, to assist us with the second prize in this competition is the Assistant Commissioner, Ms. Louis. I know you didn't expect to work so hard today, but yeah, it happens sometimes. From Luferton School, Luferton Primary School, Jordan Hunt. Again, the recipient of a trophy and a tablet, And yet again, with the kind compliments of Cargo BGI. You can't say that enough. Is Kelly Hunt here? No. Is Tisha Todd Hines here? Pro Tisha? Yes. We know this children cannot achieve without the effort. That is it. I'm very sorry, sir. In this day and age where so many negative things are said about us fathers, again, we call on Cargo BGI to give the first prize for the primary poetry. Managing Director of Cargo BGI, Mr. Sean Morris, on whose back this competition has been resting for 2 years, and we expect for another year. Again, another clue, another St. Michael's School, huh? St. Matthew's School. And her name is Raquel Dutton. Is that Mr. Ryan Dutton? And by the way, Mr. Ryan Dutton, Daddy is here. And once she receives her prize, we're going to ask her to read her entrance. I'm glad to see that the fathers are highly represented. And as fathers.
If you see something, say something. I went to town and saw someone stealing a purse. I thought to mind my business, but that will only make it worse. I quickly ran to find an officer and told him everything. If you see something, say something. In class, I saw a group of students bullying their peer. When I looked at him, I saw the fear. They'll think I'm a snitch if I tell, but to tell the truth, I am compelled. I told the teacher what they were doing. If you see something, say something. When I was playing a game with my peer, she fell, and I saw bruises everywhere. I asked her about the bruises, and she started to cry. My parents are beating me and serving me, and I don't know why. All I know is that I cannot take this. I said that is terrible. I will try to assist. When I got home, I told my parents what was amiss. My parents went to the police and told them her story. When I got back to school, she ran up to me and said, "Thank you, you saved me. If you see something, say something. News boys, don't be scared. Your voice needs to be heard, loud and clear."
Thank you so very much. Congratulations on that. Could we kindly have the winners, the teachers and parents or guardians come down to the podium, please? That would be Daria Nichols, Tisha Todd Hines, Tisha.
Tisha Todd Hines.
Shannon Allen Guardian.
You're having a voucher.
No, we understand that the success of children is a partnership. And involved in that partnership is the teacher at school, but it's also the parent at home. And towards that end, again, Cargo BGI, never wavering in assisting us, have decided that those other partners are also deserving of some contribution, of some acknowledgement of their contribution. And therefore, I have in my hand for the teacher a token of our understanding of what it is to raise a child, because he spends a fair amount of time at school, just as he spends a fair amount of time at home. We're going to ask Ms. Gloria Haynes, a representative from the Ministry of Education, Technology and Vocation, to present to the parent of the first place winner a token of appreciation. Parents and then teacher will come after. You know, they came that way originally. The parents came first, and then the teachers came. This is Mr. Leacott's daddy and mommy. I see Shannon Allen, so this must be Miss Allen. Miss Todd Hines, teacher of Derry Leacott, first place winner from Lufatorn School. And when I tell that the input of the teacher is critical, you won't believe it. They're the ones who drive it on the ground. We come up with the idea, but it has to be driven at the grassroots level. Teacher has to be involved in some form or fashion. The parents of Raquel Dottin, teacher Mr. Marad Whitaker Messiah of the St. Matthew's School. We want to thank you, ma'am. We appreciate it. The doctors will heal our bodies, but teachers expand our minds and allow us to dream and to follow those dreams. Do we have at this stage a representative of the Harrison College School? Madam Principal, and again, Chiargo BGA, who was so kind to assist us. Managing Director, Mr. Sean Morse. She will accept the gift on behalf of the winner as well as on behalf of the teacher. Tiva Seeley Thompson is a student. We now invite our esteemed feature speaker, Madam Justice Barbara Cook Allen, to award to the schools that have won their challenge trophies. From the Lufatorn School Challenge Trophy for the essay for this year's competition. Do we have a representative, please? Yes, we do. From the St. Matthew's Primary School, Madam Principal. Miss Colleen Jills Collymore. Yes, I am. To accept on behalf of her school the Challenge Trophy for the 2024 literary competition. And now for the Challenge Trophy for the secondary schools. And the principal again. From the Harrison College School. Challenge Trophy 2024. She will also take possession of the award for the student as well, who's not here today with us. As it relates to the giving out of awards, that is it. We offer sincere thanks to Madam Justice. Thank you so much. This competition has as its vision another Kamal Braffett, another George Lamin. It must start somewhere. It starts at the beginning, at the primary school level. We must expose our children's talents in all the forms in which they will come. We cannot narrow ourselves in this day and age to small little boxes. Well, we might never put a man on the moon because we don't have that resources. We certainly have the creative minds to do what others have done. The time is now for us to focus more not to forget the basics, but to add to them, and implore teachers everywhere and parents in directing their children to keep that in mind. At this stage, we're going to have our vote of thanks by the engine of this competition, without whose presence it would not have been. And we again I offer my personal thank you to BGI Cargo. I want you to go home with that in your head and to say over and over again, when you shop, they will ship. And it's easy to find Hackett Hall, St. Michael, near that popular radio station. I welcome again once more to the podium Sergeant Christopher Griffith.
Thank you, Constable Ross. Okay, before I give the vote of thanks, I will allow Constable Griffith, because we will have heard the essay and the poem by the primary schools. So I'm going to allow Constable Griffith to read Atiba Seeley's entry so that we will hear what he said in his essay. So Constable Griffith is going to come and read that essay to us. Thank you. Sorry, poem.
Greetings. Silence is deadly. Shh! The sound of heavy rainfall in the night. Just like the sky, I am covered in darkness, not a touch of light, except for the blaring headlights of the police car coming from my right. I impatiently stand at the pedestrian crossing, awaiting the changing of the night. Suddenly, a light wrenching screech from my left gives me a fright. Through the haze and fog and the rain pouring with all its might, I barely make out the dark silhouette of a man and a woman with my impaired sight. It looks like an argument, a squabble, or maybe a couple's fight. Anyway, I shouldn't intrude. It's not like I have any right. And nothing bad should happen. The police are right there, right? So homeward, at snail's pace I tread, dragging my feet through the rain like the walking dead, collapsing from work exhaustion onto my bed. A stone-like heaviness overcame my body as I lay like a stone on the riverbed. Call me a rolling stone, because that night I tossed and turned as nothing but worrying thoughts created nonstop noise in my head. That, combined with sounds of sirens, created a horrific symphony to keep me awake instead. The saying, "It never stops, but it never rains, but it pours," never made sense to my earhead. But now it suddenly makes sense as I wake up with dread. Turn on the news and the worst gets worse as I see nothing but red. The woman that I saw through the rain last night in a pool of blood, dead. Turns out that couple's fight was more like a case of murder and sexual assault. A wound of guilt is now open, and my brain rubs it with salt. I found organs could be gymnasts as my stomach did somersaults. Because my mind is consumed with the thought, it's all my fault. I should have said something. The police were right next to me. But because I chose to dismiss it, I chose to flee. I chose to be silent and look where that led me. Now, I learned the hard way that silence is deadly. Thank you.
You have heard the poems and the essays from our primary schools and secondary schools. And it's amazing that we are sitting on a gold mine as it relates to our children. And that is why that we must harness this talent that we have, or not, we are going to lose it. So I say thank you to all the teachers, the parents, all of those persons, because as an individually, we must impact our young people. And it's not only by what we say and do, but it's also by our examples that we set towards them. And that's just by the way. My task this morning is to give the vote of thanks who have impacted this award ceremony. But before that, I would like to give out some tokens of appreciation, and I'm going to call on our sponsor, Mr. Sean Morris, and I'm going to call on Station Sergeant Lynch to give out this token of appreciation to our sponsors. And when I think about this competition and what he has done and putting, I say to myself in all the running around that I would just give him a token of appreciation. So, Mr. Morris, I know you didn't looking forward for it, but I'm sorry. We are going to ask Station Sergeant Lynch to present Mr. Morris with this token, a small token of our appreciation from the Barbados Police Service. You're welcome. And I'm going to call Ms. Gloria Haynes and to present a small token to Mr. Francis. Yes, Mr. Francis Dollars. Just as appreciation, he's the one that gave us the team, and we just want to appreciate him in a small way. We hope it would have been bigger, but you never could tell what might happen next year. And finally, to our guest speaker, and we are going to ask Madam Justice, Ms. Barbara Cook-Allen, and we are going to ask the Senior Superintendent, Mr. Brooms, to present this award, a token of our appreciation. Mr. Brooms, he has been on my back relative to this competition, and he has given, as people will say, a license to make certain that this competition continue from year to year. So we just want to offer our guest speaker this morning a token of our appreciation. This morning, I say thank you to Mr. Sean Morris and his team at Cargo BGI for sponsoring this tournament yet another year, for providing the trophies, computers, and tablets for these students who work tirelessly with their entries. Also to Mr. Stephen Lovell for working behind the scenes and promoting the competition and engaging the media. Without Mr. Stephen Lovell, all of this would not have happened. I want to say thank you to the Ministry of Education through Dr. Ramona Bradshaw, Arthur Bradshaw, and Ms. Joyce Adamson, who gave consent through their ministry for this competition to reach schools in the Bridgetown division. Thank them for assigning Ms. Gloria Haynes, again, who was responsible for the posting of the competition on the website to the various schools with the rules and regulations, organizing the judges to mark the various papers, and working around the clock to make this competition a success. So, Ms. Haynes, thank you, and I want you to convey our thank you to the Ministry of Education. We also have to thank Ms. Jackie Trotman for the grafting of the flyer, which was submitted to the schools. And I want to say this morning, thank you to all the principals and students of all the schools that participated in this competition. We realized that some of the schools did not enter due to some reason or the other, but we are hopeful that by next year that you will join us, because we plan to start this competition maybe in the next month or so that you will have ample time to prepare your students for this competition. Mr. Francis Thompson, who gave us the theme for this year's competition, I want to say thank you again. I say thank you to the Commissioner of Police, the AC, Mr. Louis. He was with me when I was at District A, and he welcomes this idea of engaging students and schools within the island of Barbados. I also want to say thank you to Inspector Roach, my Station Sergeant Lynch, even though he has gone to Black Rock, but he was at the stage where he gave us the go-ahead for this competition last year and this year. So Station Sergeant Lynch, even though you're not here at District A, we will miss you, but we will continue the work in your division as well. I say thank you to all of my community officers. Without them, Constable Sobers, Constable Griffith, Constable Ross, Constable Hines, Constable Cadogan, who is on the outside, who was parking the vehicles, Constable Roach, and also Constable Davis, who are assigned to the community posts, community relations here at District A. I want to also say a thank you to them, because without them, then this competition will not be successful, because they went about with me to the various schools and they promote this competition also. Say a thank you to Ms. Janelle Franklin, who printed the invitations and the certificates, and also Ms. Michelle Maxwell, who was assisting us with the rules and guidelines for the poster competition, because there was a poster competition, but we had no entries as it relates to that. The Director of Music for allowing us to use the facilities for the award ceremony. And we want to say a thank you to our caterers. Delightful Treats for catering to us. As soon as this vote of thanks is finished, then you can go downstairs and have a light refreshments. To Mr. David Codrington for remarks on behalf of Cargo, BGI, also for Mike Conrad, Constable Griffith, for the opening prayer that he would have given this morning, because we know without God, we cannot do anything. And to the various presenters for giving out the tokens, certificates, and awards, I say thank you very much. And to our guest speaker, what more can I say? We want to say a thank you for accepting our invitation and for coming and speaking to the young minds. I know that you're very interested in children, and I know that once I ask and you hear that they are children, that you're going to stop everything and come and give us an encouraging word. So I want to say thank you for the words of encouragement that you have given to us this morning. And I know for a fact that these children take into account what you said. And thank you for all the guests for coming here. I want to say thank you for my wife, she's there in green, for coming to this presentation and this award ceremony. Thank all the principals, the students, everybody, parents, everybody, the media for coming. Also from the police department, Constable Edie and his staff, I say thank you. And I also finally want to say a thank you to Sergeant Christopher Griffith for giving the vote of thanks. So enjoy the balance of the day, and thank you all Do have a pleasant day.